Hey Capricorn, this is Veritas Malefica with a general reading for you for the full moon in Aquarius on August 19th, 2024. This is a general reading, so please keep that in mind. It's not a one-to-one reading or a personal reading. If you're interested in something like that, I do offer them online on a very limited basis. The information for how to book that is listed below in the description box. I am also available in person in San Francisco, California for in-person events or readings. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So there is quite a bit going on astrologically right now. This week is sort of chaos leading up to the full moon and kind of a little bit after it. Um, Good news, this is kind of the last burst of that much chaos at once through to the end of the year. The rest of the year should be looking pretty mellow, astrologically speaking. So that is good. That being said, I'm going to keep this lunar cycles reading very simple and do it in a slightly different format than I have been doing, just because that's the guidance that I've been getting. I'm going to use a little bit more channeled messages and intuition, tapping into that and working with my spirit guides as opposed to using so much of the structure of the tarot. I'm actually only using one tarot deck this reading round, and it is the Aquarian Tarot. I felt that fitting as it is the full moon in Aquarius. And funny story, as I was grabbing the deck to shuffle it, I realized that there was a card that did not belong in it, that belonged to my Rider-Waite deck. How that got in there, I have no idea. But that card happened to be the Star, which is in the background for these readings now. That's the energy. That is the card that represents Aquarius. So why not? And I thought, if that's not a sign from Spirit, I don't know what is. So that will be the only tarot deck that I'll be using. I'm going to keep the readings very simple and just kind of really delve into the meaning of each card. I have also selected an oracle deck for this round of readings, which I don't use often, but I just felt like I needed to do that. So that's what we're going with. We'll select one of these and then a little bit more limited amount of actual tarot cards for this round of readings. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the astrology. Now, that being said, I am not an astrologer, but I do dabble and try to pay attention to the overarching major energies that are going on, just to kind of be able to work with that and know how to navigate life at the current time. So, um, yes, what I wanted to really point out is that there are a ton of planets in retrograde right now. Not going to go into all of them, but obviously the big one right now is Mercury is having her retrograde season currently and is doing her thing. I've been noticing a lot of disruption in travel and plans and communication and technology, all of that sort of usual stuff. Major advice for that is to just slow down and kind of accept when these things are happening and to allow that energy to just flow. Like, okay, this isn't going to work, so maybe we can do this instead. My schedule has not been going to plan at all. And to avoid miscommunications, I have just not been communicating. I've been very antisocial. So, whatever works for you during this time, just know that it will be over soon. But the major thing I wanted to talk about was the Jupiter and Saturn square that is going to be occurring on or around the full moon. I forget the actual particular date, but that is going to last well into the spring and is going to be a little annoying. Those two planets are kind of opposite to each other in that Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion, whereas Saturn is the planet of restriction and boundaries. So, whatever we've been wanting to expand on and work on and, create more abundance within is going to have this check to it where it's like, well, do you really want to do that? And Saturn is your ruling planet, Capricorn. So as I'm talking about this, I'm getting a big energy that that's actually really going to work for you. Where you're going to be like, actually, I mean, like, that's what I do anyway. What are you talking about? Of course, I want to, check and see if this is going to be good, or how can I restrict this to make it easier to flow with or work with and make it sustainable and work in the long run. So I think this will work well for you in general, Capricorn. But just remember, things may be a little slow moving. Things may not progress as quickly as you'd like to, and it will be okay. Um, so yes, another thing that comes with that square is it is often accompanied by major upsets and changes in the financial and economic sector. So, how that will manifest, I can't say. I haven't done any divination into that or worked with that energy, but something to be aware of, that there may be some kind of shifts with that, which, if you ask me, I feel like is better for all of us. Because, I mean, have you seen how much everything in the grocery store is? Something needs to change. So we'll see how that works out and what happens with that. But let's go ahead and get to your reading. As I was shuffling, I definitely got that you are like being very introspective at this time, maybe not being as social or as open. You're just kind of keeping to yourself and getting your shit done right now. I don't feel like you're going to be super affected by a lot that's going on right now, which is great. So let's see what we get very quickly there. That's interesting. I'm going to pull the card at the bottom because I'm being given that that's what it's actually supposed to happen. That card came out on the previous reading, and I don't think that's for you. And I wanted to really, you saw me pause and look at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this is actually your card. That's interesting. Now let's break down that energy. So things might be coming to you, and you're going to be like, no, that's not. Mm-mm. And that's that. I can connect that with that kind of minding my own business energy and not really engaging. That's kind of what it felt like as I was shuffling. So I think you might be getting a lot of stuff that's going to come towards you, a lot of energetic transactions or interactions where people are like, hey, try this. Hey, here's this. Hey, here's this option. Or just lots of options around you, which is not a bad thing. But you're going to be like, no, no, no. And the one that you're going to actually choose is going to be the one that nobody thinks that you're going to. Anyhow, that was interesting. So the card that I've got for you is Star Ancestors. Words on the card are hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper, which doesn't that go right in line with what I was saying? Like, you're looking at all of these things around you and you're like, now what's the one on the bottom? What's this? I want to look at that. So trust your intuition. Tap into your ancestral connections, tap into your intuition on everything, and that's going to light your way. That's really what I'm getting. This is very straightforward, and I'm not going to like really delve into that too much. I think that message with that card was particularly that interaction I just had with the deck and the energy I was getting during the shuffling is that, you're going to have all these things that are like, oh, bright, shiny thing, bright, shiny thing. And you're like, no, I want the thing that's underneath that actually has the meaning and the depth in it. Depth is important. The word depth. Look deeper. Interesting. All right, let's get some cards for Capricorn. I think that's it. Oh, okay. All right. Hanged Man. That's wow. Okay, yeah, depth. Changing the perspective to see it from a higher view. Really looking at what is this that I have? What is this that I want? How do I see this differently? You're really, really looking at your own viewpoint and your intuition, and that's going to help you avoid some disaster. You're seeing things clearly. You're not restricting yourself. You're allowing yourself to flow with the energy. You know that it's not going to happen quickly, and that's going to keep you from having a major upset. Now, you know that all your desires are not being met right now. You know that your passions are not moving forward in the way that you'd like them to right now, but you are sticking strong to the fact that you're not in a state of complete bliss, but you're also not in a state of the opposite. You're kind of hovering in the middle, and you're allowing that to just kind of be there and hang out. You're seeing the truth in this energy and allowing it to unfold as slowly as it wants to. Just kind of minding your business, biding your time, waiting until the time is right for you to wake up and take action. But it's certainly not now. This is going to be a slow process. These cards that were upside down. Okay. Yeah, you're working really hard right now and trying to maintain a lot of balance, holding on to a lot of burdens, but you've got them. You've got them. You have everything under control, even though you're dealing with a lot. You've got a lot of strength and power here. You're literally averting a crisis and a disaster by how strong and how balanced you're approaching everything. This is going to end up really well. There's going to be that wake up call moment, and that's when you're going to start creating something in the physical universe. You've got Judgment with the Page of Cups. So the sun will come out again. The sun will come out again and inspire you to begin to create the desires that you want, to manifest what it is that you want in this world. But for right now, you're just holding it down. You're holding it down. You're balancing, you're maintaining, and it's hard. You've got a lot of things you got to take care of, but you are holding it down like really well. I'm noticing eights going on. I feel like this may pertain to like next year. So, because we're in the 8th month, next year, you may see some things kind of shifting and changing into this energy of like, all right, time to wake up out of this, time to flip this strength card here and make some changes and switch some things around. I think this hanged man process is going to be a long-term process. This is going to take a while and will definitely last through the end of the year into the spring. But you are literally averting disaster, which is cool. Again, tapping into that energy of nope, minding my own business. I'm not messing with anything out there. I want this particular thing. I'm going to keep it nice and safe. I'm going to keep it nice and secure. And that's going to help me to wake up when the time is right. So awesome. That's what I've got for you, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did and resonated with any of the messages, please leave a comment or like or share and subscribe, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you for the next major moon cycle next month.